Okay, so for our English today, we are going to start by looking at our key vocabulary word, which is superlative, and this is a type of adjective. What this type of word is as you can see from all of the words on the list, is usually they all end in this est ending, as you can see. And what it means is it is the most of something. So, for example, this one here says the bravest. That means the most brave. This one here says the kindest, and that means the most kind, okay? It's a better way of saying this, essentially. The kindest, the bravest. Some others on our list include the oldest, the newest, the youngest, the angriest. So there's lots of words you can use. Some of them, it doesn't always work by putting est on the end. So for example here, the most beautiful. Beautifulest isn't a word, so you would say the most beautiful as a way of working around that. You also can't say the famousest, so you'd say the most famous. Okay? The wonderfulest, you can't say, so you can say the most wonderful. So there's some examples, and that's some of the types of words that we're looking at today. Now, moving on to our thinking side, what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to go through this section first, on the right hand side, because that's linked to what we've just been doing. And what I want you to do is to collect positive superlative adjectives to describe woodland creatures. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples as always, and I am going to say, what am I going to say? I am going to say this one, the dearest, okay? And then the other one I'm going to say is the most loved. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you two examples here, one with the est ending and one with it saying the most, okay? Two different types of words. I'd like you to come up with at least two more examples for this section, please. Two more to add to my two. Then looking at this side, what we need to do is collect words that mean plentiful or important, okay, but ones that we want to use essentially. So I'm going to give you two examples again, and that's going to be beneficial and great, okay? They're very positive words because plentiful and important are often positive. It shows how much something's needed or wanted. All right, so they're my words that I'm doing for my thinking side. All right, so next we're going to move on to our independent sentence. Oh, actually I'm going to get a whiteboard for this, I think. Here we go. So, for our independent sentence, here we go. I'm going to start by writing about the habitat, okay, because that's what we've been looking at. And I'm going to say, this habitat provides a rich source of food, shelter, and protection. for some of our favourite creatures. Okay, there's the first part of my sentence. And then I'm going to think about what am I going to say? I'm going to add to this now using my superlatives, and I'm going to say oh, this one's tricky. I'm going to say only the bravest of animals can manage to live in the most, which one's on camera? Dangerous of habitats. Okay, so that's my 2 sentences for today. This habitat provides a rich source of food, shelter and protection for some of our favourite creatures. Only the bravest of animals can manage to live in the most dangerous of habitats. Alright, so what I want you to do is change some of this. My first sentence you can use most of, but I'd like you to think of your own word for this, for rich. So that would come into our thinking side, where maybe you could think about words for important. That could be a word in there. So it could say, provides a great source, using my example there, or a great source of food, shelter and protection would really work. And then maybe you could change this word, our favourite creatures. So you could say our dearest creatures. That's using one of my examples. Now, to extend the lesson further, that's when I've added on this second sentence, okay? And I really use my superlatives in here to explain almost like a type of animal in a type of habitat. And I've said only the bravest of animals can manage to live in the most dangerous of habitats. I've said what type of animal can live in this type of habitat. So to extend your work on, it would be great to see this second sentence. The first one is the most important, but the second one would be really great to see. Have a go and see how you get on.